Oh, my fellow Alaskans, how are we all doing on this balmy, cool Tuesday? It is voting day in the MatSu Valley and in the Denali Borough, where they have every seat up for election this year. We are here currently at our voting location, which happens to be in Big Lake, and I just got done casting my vote, which I was very happy to do, and get it done and out of the way, and hopefully you too have done the exact same thing. We all need to get out and do our part, make sure our elections stay above board, and that every Alaskan votes that is eligible to vote, and get out there and cast your vote. It has been one of those days and one of those election seasons that has been filled with propaganda from all sides, and mainly from the left, which is nothing unusual. I have been watching all of these fake accounts popping up on a regular basis, targeting the conservatives that are out there, or even the ones that like to call themselves conservatives. It is unfortunate that this election season we have to have such a mess of propaganda to be filtering through to all of us. I know I'm repeating that word a lot, propaganda, and there's a reason for it. I'm hearing it everywhere. We've got these candidates that are running for school board that claim work for the conservative-minded people, when in reality they are more than happy to have porn for books being put into our library systems. We're the ones that helped propagate and make what happened of the walkouts in our MatSu district schools last week occur. They tried to do the exact same thing again today. Keep saying there's violations of the assembly and the school board for open meetings acts, and these people outright need to be removed. Now I'm seeing another one saying Berge is no longer going to be an assembly member and has moved out of state, and now that assembly seat is up and open. This is all courtesy of the frontiersmen for that one there. These little things that they've got going on, the propaganda that they're spinning out there, is just atrocious. I wish I was able to have been a participate in this election season and given my 2 cents since day one. But as we all know, I've been out of state on a family emergency, you might want to call it. Spending the quality time while I can with my family that before it's too late. And I'm glad to be back in Alaska and trying to keep you all updated on the latest and greatest news. You will be seeing I am getting a lot more active than I am right now. And again, today is the last day to vote in the MatSu Valley and the Denali Borough. That one has not been well advertised, nor is anyone hearing about it because they keep it very hush-hush, because they're such a small community. They're going from an assembly size of 9 down to 7. Every seat is up and open for grabs there right now. So if you live in the Denali Borough, make sure you get out and cast your vote. It's a whole brand new round of people that are running in this year's election there. And you guys have a chance to finally change the direction your borough has been going. Just like we have here in the MatSu Valley, the propaganda machine has been on overdrive, pushing the left-wing narrative of how MAGA extremists, you know, the conservatives, what Joe Brandon has labeled all of us out there. And we just need to do our part, and what we can do is cast your vote. We have the race that I'm particularly interested in, just because it's my district, is between Moki 2 and Bill Gamble. And my vote, of course, it was a hard one to make this year, and I got to say it that way because as political candidates, I don't like either one. I just don't. And I got to throw that out there. I am neither one of them as a political candidate, I think, are worthy of representing us MatSu Valleyans out here on the assembly. But I have to cast my vote for one of the two, either Bill Gamble or Moki 2. And I did. I went and casted my vote, and I picked, in my opinion, the lesser of two evils. And the way I kind of judged who I was going to vote for is who's going to work for the people and who's going to work for the swamp that we, the people, are sick and tired of, because they are the worst in the nation at just about everything they do. So I looked at the candidates and who they had sponsoring them. Who were their major donors? You hear the left when it comes to, say, the school board. Look, it's teachers that are donating. They're the majority of the donations coming in for these candidates. But you do a deeper dive where the big bucks came from. Directly from the NEA organizations, the far left wing people that are, we would classify them as dark money. And that dark money came in big bundles from out of state. But you watch their propaganda, it was mostly all came from school teachers and such like that, people that want to see them in as candidates. If you're a school teacher out there and you are approving porn for all ages, like this book is gay, and are offended that it's being removed from the public school library system, and it's still out there in the library for the public, but not in the school system. And if you're one of those that wants that to happen, you have no business being lordship, the person on the school board that's dictating what is going to be the future of our children. These candidates that are pushing parents have no rights once they enter their children into the public school system. This is what the Democrat left, the nonpartisan they're supposed to be, yeah, right, are funding for their school candidate, Shibi and Sydney or something like that. I don't even really care to learn their names. But back to where I was before I went off on the school district again, because I'm just totally floored. I wish I would have had a vote this election on the candidates that are running. But we've got Bill Gamble and Moki too. And again, I had to pick the lesser of two evils of who I wanted to run as candidate this year and be my assembly person representing my district. And it was a tough choice. I had to go down and look at who was financing their campaigns. And when I see people like Dan Mayfield, which our district pushed out of office, worked extremely hard to make sure wouldn't be holding another position down in Juneau again as a legislator, backing the campaign of Bill Gamble, I was like going, you're making my decision even easier. When Bill Gamble's first announcement for his campaign came out, it was from Doug Massey, and another far left wing. They call themselves conservatives, but they work for the swamp. They work for the very people that we are fighting against on a daily basis for keeping our taxes low and accountability for every penny that they spend for us. These people like Bill Gamble and the ones that are backing him, they can care less. All they care about is how much of that money of ours they can funnel off to their special interests that get them elected. The unions, the NEA organization, all the far left-wing machine out there that is constantly taking our tax dollars that give us the worst performance in the world. The healthcare departments. It's a continuous basis of having to pick the lesser of two evils. And then you got Moki too. Again, I don't see him as being any angel. On the private sector side and the information that has come out this election season, he is not the best candidate in the world. He's had his problems. He's been in and out of court for his businesses. Some would even say several of the things that got passed in the last 2 years in the assembly was to benefit him or certain people, just like Bill Gamble, privately. I mean, I can name a certain legislator out there that's got a nice new road, who's a representative for the Big Lake area right now. How did he get a brand new road put in, paved, where he lives at compared to all the other places in the MatSu Valley that are really hurting right now? But again, I had to look at who's going to work for the majority of the MatSu Valleyans that live out here and who's only going to work for the special interests of the swamp. And I don't like either candidate, but I'm going to let it out. I did vote for Moki too. Because I looked at the lesser of two evils. Who would I want in there working? Someone that works in the private sector, knows what it likes to earn your money that you get, not being using state-funded or government-funded find money coming in through your door, and that's how you earn your paycheck, is coming from the state or local or federal money. I want somebody that goes out there and works for a living, works their butt off to earn the money that they have, that they get to spend, and does not like the fact that government takes our money and spends it how they want. We got the worst education in the United States. We got the highest cost for health care. Our road systems out here in the MatSu Valley are atrocious. Big Lake Road, you're lucky we don't have bumper stickers that say, "I survived Big Lake Road," because the potholes out here are so bad. It is unreal. But these are the things that I'm advocating for, that I would like to see have happen. And who do I think is going to do the best for us out here representing us Alaskans that live in this borough? Moki 2's my man. Versus Bill Gamble is not. Bill Gamble has already admitted that he is more than happy to increase the base student allocation. He's all for that. He's for defined benefits and pensions programs. He's all for that. He's pushing the Alaska legislators' agenda, the left wing that steals our PFT's agenda, in his promotion for why he would make a great assembly person, because he is more than happy to spend our taxes, our property taxes and such, directly on the special interests, and whatever crumbs are left over, then maybe I might see Big Lake Road no longer needing that bumper sticker anymore. Maybe, maybe. I'm tired of the maybes. I want a definite answer. Well, I'm going to stop my little tirade right here. I'm going to drive on out. I'm going to wave at the Bill Gamble, who's sitting right on the corner of the polling location here in Big Lake, which is really sad that he's sitting right at the entrance. He has no respect. This is what Dan Mayfield does too. He sits right at the very entrance of where we're supposed to pull in, and you'll see what I mean by at the entrance. At least Moki 2, year after year, he has respect for the voter. He's out there at the main road as they're coming in to turn towards the polling location that I'm at right now. There's a big difference in my mind of respect for the people that you are going to be representing, and making sure that you're the last name anybody ever sees, because honestly, you're too ignorant to actually go out and get yourself educated about who you're voting for. I can't claim I'm uneducated. I spend too much time watching Alaskan politics to know better. And again, this election is full of left-wing propaganda. They are spending tens of thousands of dollars in their campaigns right now to unseat the incumbents on the borough and also on the school boards. And we need to make sure those incumbents stay in power. I don't like any of them, but they're a hell of a lot better than the propaganda that's being pushed by the left. They can't even define what a woman is. And if you can't do simple science and tell me the basics of what a woman is, you shouldn't be elected. You shouldn't be holding a seat in office, especially if you're on the school board. You can't define what biology is through science, the scientific method, using actual thing that we as adults grew up with prior to the education going downhill over the last 20 years. And I know it's longer than that. It's been going downhill, but once Obama took office, that was pretty much all she wrote. He put the rubber stamp on diversity, equity, and inclusion to come into play. Of course, back then we called that CRT, just like we call the cross-dressers now. We're supposed to call them transgenders and use their preferred pronouns that mean absolutely nothing but gibberish. Okay, I'm done. I'm going to quit talking. Just going to motivate on out here. Take a look at what's in front of me here. I'm in front of the Big Lake Lions Club. As you can see, this is the polling location where I get to vote. And you can see the vote sign out there. People have been pulling in and out of the driveway since I got here. I'm going to go ahead and just pull right on around, get this locked up against my windshield so it doesn't go moving anywhere. And back up on out of here. Let's turn off my interior lights so you can see a little bit better out front there. And again, if you haven't taken time to get out and vote, get out and do it right now. It is still early. We still got a couple more hours before the polling locations are closed. And you can see how I'm pulling out, and right there, right on the corner, there's Bill Gamble. He doesn't even hesitate to put himself out there right on the corner of where everybody comes in. I don't find that very respectful. The last entrance, just outside of being considered against campaign violations for being inside of the polling location. But this is Bill Gamble's little setup right there. Got them all out there waving. I waved something, but I'm sure they didn't get to see what that was. And now I'm going to pull on up, and we're going to move up to the entrance to the polling location at the Big Lake Lions Club. And you can see up ahead here that this is where Moki 2 happens to be sitting at. And I am going to get out here and just see if maybe he wants to talk for just a little bit, because this is the only opportunity I have to actually do anything for elections. I have no respect for Bill Gamble. I don't even want to give him 1 second of my time. That's, again, this is my own personal opinion. But if you know what is working in his direction, you understand why I'm saying that. Okay, I'm getting myself pulled off to the side of the road here. Give me just 1 second, and I'll get myself out to where I can get to where they are sitting at. Grab my other microphone real quick to make these interviews a little bit easier to run. Put on my gloves because it is mighty cold outside. Again, if you haven't gone out and vote, please go and vote right now and make it happen. It's up to each and every one of us to make sure we have fair and honest elections. And you guys can do that by casting your vote, and hopefully you make the right decision. Your decision is a right decision no matter what direction it goes. It's your right to cast your vote for whomever you want. Don't let my opinion sway you, but hopefully maybe my opinion might see a different side than what you are hearing right now. So here's our last chance, what I would classify for the MatSu Valley, to get a decent vote in. This the Moki 2 campaign. And where's Moki? Is he hiding around here? So again, I just went out and casted my vote, and unlike Bill Gamble, who happens to be sitting right at the entrance, which in all opinions should be considered a campaign violation, instead, he's over there trying to propagate his people to vote for him. The only ones I'm sure that are voting for him are the unions, the NEA, the swamp that we all hate and love to hate. But I'm taking a moment here out of my day. Again, I just got back from being out of state on a very long trip. It was well worth it. Got to spend time with my family. And before it's too late to be able to do that, now I'm back in state. Been running around with my head cut off trying to get things caught back up after being gone almost a month, and today's one day that I'm making sure I am live for all of you. And again, thank you all for being here, and I'm sure, Moki, you got some things to say, so I'm going to hand you a microphone here.
Yep.
And why don't you go ahead and tell us why we should all vote for you, and it's this chilly day, how's it treating you?
Oh, it's been a cold day, that's for sure. I've been out here since around 7:30, 8 o'clock. Got lots of responses from all the folks. I'm feeling pretty optimistic. I think it's been a good campaign, and it's been a pretty positive campaign, and I'd say thanks to all the voters out there.
Are you optimistic about what the outcome of the election's going to be, or do you think you're the favorite at the moment? Where do you think you stand?
It feels pretty positive right now, you know, but the votes come in here around 8:30, 9 o'clock or so. We should know by then.
And this is the first year we're getting to do hand counting again. So that is a major positive for us all there.
I'll be watching that.
Are you excited to actually have them hand counted instead of being counted by a machine?
Yes, and I'm actually going to go witness that count tonight. About right at 8 o'clock I'll be there.
Well, it's good to hear. Good to hear.
Yeah.
And glad to see you out here. I'm glad I could make it. I was hoping to be able to catch you before it was too late.
Yep.
I've been running around with my head cut off. Thank you, Moki.
Yep. Thank you, Bert. Perfect, huh?
All right, folks, you heard it first. You heard it from Moki. Thank you guys all for being here today. Get out and vote if you haven't done it yet. It is just about 6 o'clock. That means you got 2 hours and 10 minutes left to get to the poll and cast your ballot. Get out there, vote for your favorite candidate. I've already told you who mine is in the borough election. Again, I don't get the vote for who is on school board this particular time around, but the incumbents are your choice. Everybody running against them is not even worthy of your vote, especially if you love your children and want your children to be able to get an education, not an indoctrination. I would like to throw out a big thank you to Tracy's Treasures, and they're going to pop up on my screen now. Give me just 1 second here. There we are. Tracy's Treasures, you can find them here in Wasilla. They have become a proud sponsor of Politidic, and you can see the wooden flag up there up on top. That was donated by them. That is inside of my studio now. You guys will all get a good sneak peek of what that is looking like here in the near future. And if you'd like to become a sponsor, please go to our website, go to politidic.com and click that support button. Everything goes right back into what we're doing, and we are expanding on levels you will not believe right now. This next election, or this next political cycle that we're going to be going through for both the Valley, the school boards, and an Alaska Ledge in January, I can't wait to be able to show you what's coming next. Thank you guys all again for being here tonight. Like, share this video. It's supporters like you that make videos like this one possible. Really do appreciate you guys again for being here, and we will see you the next time.